ideas? Any ideas?
Hello, welcome. It is Sunday evening in the UK, 9 p.m-ish, and we're here for another little chat time. Yay, it's gonna be fun. Woo. How are you all doing in the chat? You all seem to be very nice to each other, which is good. Hello Sonic, who's in Sweden. Where is everyone? Geordie Den Hartog says, good evening from the lands, by the way. Hello. Hey, says Deathwatch27. One House asks, purple Nelly Rose? Yes, I have... This is the colour that I usually dye my hair, and then it fades to the blue colour. This is where it starts. But I have tried a different hair colour this time. It's still like a little bit blue because it's dyeing on the blue. But it's a much warmer purple I've been using for anyone interested in colouring hair. Hello from Germany, Austria, Oxford, Reading. Hello, Remental. Nathan Hill says evening. Hello. Someone's from Horsham, Pennsylvania. Manduem. What? Horsham, Pennsylvania? Because I know a Horsham in like southeast of the UK, basically, like just kind of southwest of London. Yeah, hello. Oh, it's very kind donations. Thank you very much. Visible Wizard says, small token of appreciation for you giving up your Sunday evening to keep us entertained. Hope all is okay for you and you're doing well. You're well during all this. Yes, I am okay. I'm a bit mad due to UK news. We'll get into that later. Tom Titherington. Hey, Ellen, did you ever used to watch Sooty and Co? Yes. yeah, I was like in the 90s, watched it in the 90s. I liked it. I like Sweep. She's so cute. Mattress 757 donate says, wow, hair looks great. Thank you very much. Kaizura Dark Light says, such beautiful hair, Ellen. Thank you very much. Hello from Maysville, KY. Which one is KY? I don't know all the shortened states. Not Kansas. Nope, I don't know. Someone in chat have to tell me. That's gonna zoom this out a little bit so I can read everything. Boo for Boris. Tuesday 8 p.m. says John Totoro Dent. Yeah. I'm not very. Yeah, that kind of answers the question if people are wondering. And Dominic Cummings going outside and thinking that it's totally fine for him to drive hundreds of miles up to Bloomin' Durham, County Durham, and the rules don't apply to him apparently. So Kentucky, KY is Kentucky. Thank you everyone in chat. Thank you. Sorry, I'm just rearranging some windows right now so that I can see everything. I'm going to close that chat and have this chat open instead because I need to make my chat nice and big and easy to read by zooming in, but then it cuts off some bits in the behind the scenes that I have to look and read the very kind donations. By the way, you don't have to donate if you don't want to or cannot. It is absolutely fine. I'm looking for the next stream as well to donate. There's a fundraiser for actors, people who are working in theatre, other people working in theatre. I'm going to have a little look into that one and maybe have that as my fundraiser for the next one. But today, these are for me. Thank you very much. Very kind of you, but you don't have to. Angel Beat says, purple looks amazing and vibrant. Thank you very much. I'm very pleased with it. So One Shop says, gotta close the windows so the mosquitoes don't come in. Oh no, is it warm up in Brummie? Paul Harry says, Ellen, it's up to you to bring down the government. I am behind you. Yeah. I am not pleased. Not just because of my own situation. I have jokingly been online being like, yeah, I've been inside for like 12 weeks because of you, 10 weeks, and I was told that I'm not allowed out until mid-July, June even, now end of June, that's been extended. NHS, if anyone has got one of those letters, it's on their website. You might not have been notified, but it's on their website. But I was thinking of like all the single parents who had to look after their kids when they were ill, or even the non-single parents who were both ill and had to look after their kids. Or the people who, like, people who have died alone, people who have not been able to attend funeral services. And so, I'm not a fan of the man anyway, I will be honest about that, but Dominic Cummings, just, the rules don't apply to him somehow, and that... Anyway, that's that. That's Ellen venting. I vented a lot on Twitter over the past couple of days, and today it's no better. Anyway, I've got some questions here. I'm going to read through them. It'll be fine. I've got a nice cup of blackcurrant infusion. It sort of matches my hair. Can you see that? Yeah, it sort of matches my hair a little bit. Thank you very much to everyone who sent in questions. A little bit later on I will go into the chat and pick out some questions from there. And I popped up, there's a link in the description of this video to the stream of questions. So that if you want to see the picture that I put up to explain, I've put up a picture of me with an eagle and referred to it as the Outside Times. It was from an Assassin's Creed Origins event that I went to, where it was literally on a rooftop in the city of London, and I got to play around with eagles and owls. Well, I say play around with, I mean like very carefully and with respect to the creature that I was holding, because they're big birds, and also just respect animals in general. And just it was good. It was a good day. I love like birds of prey. I think they are the coolest. And yeah, so the first question is actually from just a comment from X to Doubt, who says, I like the idea of everything before quarantine being referred to as outside times. Yes, the outside times, when we could all go when we wanted to without fear of killing anyone. So yeah, I'm looking forward to when those things that the outside times return. Let us all hope that it's sooner rather than later, and that we can all get this pandemic under control. Okay. JS Kid asks, next question. What's the last thing that made you cry? Good cry, not this is kind of overwhelming and I can't cope cry. Right. I'm someone, if anything is like emotional in a film, since the age of about 25, like I will just cry. I will sob. Like, it's like, if it's heartwarming, if it's sad, if it's just anything. So there's probably been like a film or a clip on telly that, I watched a documentary called Hospital in the UK, and it was following two hospitals in who were part of the same trust in North East London. I'm trying to think. Barnet is East London, I think. And there was some like, oh thank goodness, and like really heartwarming moments of people saying nice things to the nurses. And yeah, that I cried multiple times watching that. It was very good. It's just, if you've not seen it, if you're in the UK and you've not seen it, just go watch it, because it's an amazing bit of film. Like, you see inside the ICU, the intensive care units, and the documentary crew can't go in there because, you know, the risk of contamination, so people go in like basically with a GoPro on them, all the nurses and the medical staff, and it is intense, but it's like, you need to see it. And yeah, so that I was crying a lot during it. Also more recently, like we've been talking about my lockdown, when I first like got the text that I needed to be locked away for 12 weeks, I had a little bit of a like, not like a panic attack, but kind of close to. I've had panic attacks and this wasn't quite it. This was a like, what? And I was having a bit of a moment, and I was talking to my friend, and they were like, we'll get you through this, we'll be fine, look, we'll play video games, it'll be great. And then like I had started to like kind of cry a little bit in like, oh my goodness, I can't get out of my house until June, I'm not going to see anyone until June, I'm not going to see any of my friends and my family outside of, like, fortunately I'm with my mum and sister, but I was thinking of all the people that I just wasn't going to see, and all these other plans that this weren't going to happen. And yeah, and then my friend was like, it's okay, and then was like saying lots of nice things to me, and my sad tears turned into happy tears because I was like, oh, that thing is so nice. I think that's sort of, like, I've had a few like interactions with people on Twitter that have not been great. Like in terms of like famous people having a go at me because I disagreed with them, and like I never have been upset by like the vitriol that was sent my way because of that person sending they're following me on me, or like they're following to me or anything. The thing that actually made me cry was all of the DMs that I got from my friends being like, or like people who just like I know through Twitter who have also met this person or whatever, and they're saying, yeah, like they're just like, I'm so proud of you. And it was just very sweet. Because yeah, I've had some interesting interactions on Twitter with famous men who are middle-aged and have nothing better to do than argue with people on Twitter. I don't know. Anyway, there's the tea. Right. Flo asks, Moin Moin, Ellen, imagine being in the position to produce an entire AAA video game in a world where copyrights and trademarks don't exist. Please describe the game you would create and what bits, i.e. music, game mechanics, graphics of other games you would heavily take inspiration from. Finally, name that new... This is a huge thing. That's a huge question. Well, I like the abilities in Dishonored. I like the leveling system of Kingdoms of Amalur and the Reckoning mode. I like the combat in Nier Automata. I bet, basically, like, if I have, like, some stealthy skills and some fighty skills, but then would that be a complete mishmash if it's not, like, focused in one thing? I don't know. There's a lot of things that I really like. I'd want a horse. I'd want to be like Witcher 3 or the newer Assassin's Creed where you have like a horse that is yours and they are your friend. Like Epona, in the Ocarina of Time. So yeah, horsey friend, dog friend from Fable, and a bird friend. I just want an amalgamation. Not an amalgamation. That would just be like blending them all together into one weird animal, but maybe that would be cool. Anyway, yeah, that's a big question. But I do like your comment of stay safe and always remember politicians and diapers have one thing in common. They need to be changed regularly for the same reason. That's good. Cheers from Hamburg, Germany. Thank you very much. Hope you are all looking after yourselves in Germany. LJ 1985. Hey Ellen, hope you're keeping well. If you could go back in time to any event in your life, though with the caveat that you can only observe and cannot change the course of the timeline, what personal experience would you most like to relive? Is it sad that like right now all I can think of is Disneyland? Like last year I had two ridiculous experiences at Disneyland in that I did the Galaxy's Edge press day, and we also had like a tour. Like we were given like we had one of the amazing people in the waistcoats, if you've ever heard of them, at Disneyland, and they give you like a tour and you can skip the queues and it's ridiculous. Thank you to Barbara for the best day ever. So there's that, but then also I think just nudges out is it's just nudged out by me taking my mum and sister to Disneyland, them having never been to Disneyland, and me being able to just watch their faces as they're like, Disneyland. Like my mum was a kid when Disneyland opened, and her being on the teacups and just going, I'm on the Alice teacups. That was also a like, don't cry in Disneyland, Helen. Oh my god. But yeah, that there are some amazing, like, it is the happiest place on earth. It is. It really is. Anyway, I'm just a sucker for theme parks now. It's really ridiculous. So yeah, I would probably like relive at one of my days at Disneyland. Most likely the one with my mum and sister, and just like being like, here, because also when I went, I'd already been given like a tour, so I like knew little secrets, and so I felt like the little tour guide for my mum and sister. So I was like, and there's this and there's this. So it was really cool. So thanks, Barbara, for all that info that I was able to pass on to my mum and sister. Thank you. Draco Malformed said, have you ever punched someone in the face? I think by accident. When I've shared a bed with someone and like went and then was like, oh sorry. That, like, there are some people I would like to punch. No, I shouldn't say that on the internet. Yeah, in a Hermione punching Draco Malfoy, which is your name is a pun on. So yeah, no, I don't think I have. I don't think I have on purpose. Not that I remember anyway. Maybe I did and I just don't remember, and I was, never know. Ozzykin says, what are the quintessential London places to visit and foods to eat, as well as seasons to visit? Oh, okay, so that's good. Right, when you're in London, I mean, you got to go like see, like you go to Piccadilly Circus, then you walk through Leicester Square, and then you go down to Trafalgar Square, and then you walk down to the river, and then you can see the London Eye, the Houses of Parliament, and then like just the view across the river. If you're going from north to south, this side is busier, but it does have a cooler view, especially with Houses of Parliament currently being worked on for renovation. They're all covered in scaffolding. Still impressive, but not brilliant for pictures. And then like that's like a very quick tour of like places to see. Leicester Square can be horrendously packed. Leicester Square is just something that you walk through, to be honest. But it looks cool. There's a Christmas market around Christmas and New Year's. That's quite nice. But otherwise, it's basically a lot of like when people are allowed out. Anyway, this is all like for when you're allowed to actually move around. I'm trying to think where else. I love the Museum of London. That's the complete history of London. It's great. And that's near St Paul's Cathedral as well. And you see a bit of the London Wall, which is part of the wall that was the original square mile of London. So the city of London is like the original London. And then everything else is just like urban sprawl from there. Even Westminster is like new in comparison to the original London. And then have to say, I just go somewhere like Alexandra Palace, because there's just like a beautiful view from up there. Ali Pali is where the BBC was born. There's a skate rink there, which is gorgeous. It's really good. I've only been once to that skate rink. But it's nice and big, and yeah, it's just in a gorgeous building. I once worked at that building. I was working for a catering company, and I was doing bar work basically, and I did an Alice Cooper gig at Halloween. And oh my goodness, Alice Cooper fans, delightful. Like, I knew they would be, but it was just the best night ever. Some people have this like thing where they think like metalheads, even though Alice Cooper isn't like fully metal, but like people who are like really into their rock music can be a bit scary to some people, but they're honestly such the softest and sweetest people ever. And they were all dressed as zombies, and it was really cute. And I was like, oh my goodness, I love your makeup. And she was like, oh no, I look like this all the time. Ha 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 ha. And it was so fun to just have a joke with people, especially like the company that I was working for were not great, and we were getting paid rubbish, and we weren't allowed tips because they assumed that everything that we had in our pockets, if it was money, they would assume that we'd stolen that from the till. I hope creative events have changed since then. Anyway, and food, I mean, like fish and chips is not really like London food, but you can usually get a decent fish and chips. There's a really good place on an old Compton Street in Soho. I can't remember the name of it, but there's a really good fish bar near the bottom end of it, towards Piccadilly. And you need to find yourself a proper pie and mash shop. And you have pie, mash, liquor, which is like this kind of clear gravy with herbs. So good. And then you have it, if you're brave enough, you have it with stewed eels. I've had jellied eels. They weren't my favourite. I'm usually like, oh yeah, that sounds amazing. I like weird food like that. But stewed eels, very good. Just falls off the bone. The skin is so good. I'm one of those weird people who likes fish skin. It's the best bit. So yeah. And seasons to visit. Christmas is when all the Christmas lights up. You know, the Christmas lights are gorgeous. Oxford Street ones are kind of rubbish, but the Regent Street ones are good. Seven Dials is at Christmas one of my favourite places in the world. Oh, you should also go to Camden. It's a bit more hipster now, but it's good. And then also London in spring. I really like London in spring. Like, it rains, but like, it's London. It rains sometimes. Summer, I would advise against summer unless you come in like June. Because sometimes like London in the summer can get like real hot, like unpleasantly hot, and our buildings are not built for warmth. So if it gets to anywhere above 25 degrees, the whole of London just like melts. The tubes are screwed. It's a nightmare to travel commuting in London during the summer. Worst, absolute worst. And then because lots of dudes like to pee in the street, some of that is down to a very bad homeless problem that we've got that's gotten worse over the last 10 years, and it's really heartbreaking to see that it's gotten worse. So I'm not really annoyed at them. What I am annoyed at is the lads who decide that they can pee in the street on a night out, and that happens more during the summer because more people are out. And so there's this lovely smell of hot wee in London at certain points of the year. So I would say spring or Christmas, like New Year. Maybe New Year's pretty good. And go to St James's Park to watch the fireworks from there because it's a little bit less crowded. There you go. Stand outside Buckingham Palace. I did that one New Year's Eve and it was great because we could see all the big fireworks and we weren't in a massive crowd. It's good. So yeah, that's a lot of things that I've said. So hope that helps, Aussiekins. Right, let's go. I'm moving this. I want to keep an eye on chat, keep an eye on you all, see how you all are. People enjoying me saying hot wee. Hot wee. Just hot, warm urine. Lovely smell. Jack Bateman says, hey Ellen, love your work, especially recently living with people who haven't really done any social distancing. It's driven me crazy. Oh, I'm sorry, mate. Simple question, are there any movies, games, TV shows, books, anything you really want to just give some love to right now because you just need to talk about how good they are? I've been watching New Girl at the moment. When it first came out, I'd kind of stopped watching TV as much, like from like a schedule. I was turning into one of these YouTubers where like I was like watching more YouTube than TV. And anything like BBC iPlayer had started, so I was just like, I don't need to watch things when they're on TV, I can watch them online. And yeah, so I kind of like caught a few episodes here and there, but it, you know, I always felt like, oh, I don't know where these characters are, so I didn't feel like I could drop in and out. But it's all come to Netflix and it's really good. So yeah, that's just really, 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 really good. And also, some news has happened this week. Tuca and Bertie has been given a second season. It was originally on Netflix. Netflix cancelled it, but Adult Swim, God bless you, have picked it up. Because Tuca and Bertie, it's made by the same people who made BoJack Horseman. Lisa Hannawalt is so good, and it's just such a great show. It's about like two friends and the people in their lives, and it deals with some really heavy stuff, but in a really like good way that like it's the episodes sit with you, but they don't sit like on your shoulders forever and make you sad. It's not like, oh gosh, you know, you might want to take a break when you're watching this. Like I just ate them up. They were just so good. Yeah, New Girl and Tuca and Bertie, excellent stuff. EXTXZ says Ellen Auditory because they've got the bird in the picture. Thank you very much. KJH36 says, during the outside times, have people recognized you from your channel /Oxtra, and if you have one, the best fan interaction story? Ooh. The first time I ever got recognized was from my vlog channel, from this channel here. And it was when I went to a pantomime. For those of you who don't know what a pantomime is, it's like a fairy tale story play, but it's very family friendly. A lot of shouting back and forth between the audience and the cast. and lots of like silly jokes. There's usually a guy who plays a dame character, all that sort of stuff. It's very like, very Carry On, that sort of stuff. And we'd gone to see one. It was Joe Brand was in it, and it was Aladdin, and she was the genie, and she was amazing. Also Flawless were in it. It was great. But yeah, and as we were all leaving, the girl in front of me stood up, turned around, and her face was just like, and I was like, hi. And I didn't know whether she recognized me from school or what. That was the first thing in my head. Was like, did she go to my school? Was she like a year 7 when I left, maybe? Because she was very young. She looked about 14 or 15, and I was like 20. No, it wouldn't have worked, but like that's how my brain worked. I just didn't assume that it would be the internet. Because I was like 24 or 25 myself, I think 25. And yeah, she wouldn't have been at my school at that time. And yeah, and she liked my procrastination parody of Fascination and by Alphabet, if you don't know. And her mum was like, oh, it's the procrastination girl. And I was like, oh God. And I was there with my mum, my sister, and one of my friends from uni who'd recently moved to London. And we were like, let's go to the Panto. We'll take you to the Panto. And oh my God, they were all so excited. They were more excited than me. And yeah, that was really lovely. Her sister like caught up with us a little bit later and was like, can she have a photo with you? And I'm like, yeah, oh my God. I see loads of people at MCM. That's always really nice. Tigger recognised me at Disneyland. That's the coolest one. I was with my mum and my sister at a character breakfast at Disneyland, and Tigger was like, you know me. And I was like, oh, I was here like 2 weeks ago on a different trip. Like the 2 Disney trips that I was there on were just so close together. It was ridiculous. And I was like, I came in the same place and had food as well. Like I met Tigger. Like, did you recognise me from then? And because there's a very high chance that it's not the same person. Don't tell children watching. And yeah, no, and they were like, and I was like, it took me a second because this is how good I am at charades. And then yeah, I was like, Xbox, yeah, that's me. And then my mum and sister absolutely lost it. They were like, you go recognize that Tigger. So that was great. Another thing, Cinderella recognized you at Disneyland Paris, so that was cool. But I didn't realise until afterwards. So but she tried to be like, oh, you should come and see our princesses. We do a show on the weekend. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Not realising that they were trying to be like, show of the weekend. So, sorry to Sean. And you were very nice. It was very nice to meet you afterwards. Right. That was cool. That was just really cool. Oh, people are not realising how old I am. Damn, I thought she was 25, 26, maybe 27 or 28. Thank you very much. I'm in my 30s now. Hello. Honestly, my 30s have so far been a lot better than my 20s, even though I'm spending a lot of this year locked inside. But oh well. Oh, and last year I was like really ill. It's actually not been great, but like in terms of like my personal life outside of health, it's been quite good. Anyway, Dr. F41L says, I know you are quite opinionated and passionate when it comes to politics. I am indeed. Have you ever thought about getting into debating? I was in debating society a little bit at school. I took part in an inter-house debating competition because my school had houses, because apparently I am in Harry Potter. And we did an inter-house debating competition. We went out in round 1 because it was people from different years, and I was in 6th form, so like 17, 18. And then there was a year 11 girl, which is, they're like 16, and she didn't turn up to any of the meetings that like I scheduled for us to have. And so it was just me and this adorable year 7 girl who was like 11, 12. And I'm like, you're cool. You're just a safe week. And I talked through her about like, I had a she had like nice little tuition from me for free about debating. And I was like, don't worry, if this other girl doesn't turn up, don't worry, just try your best. And this other girl showed up at the thing, didn't know what she was talking about, and it was really annoying. And I was like very sympathetic towards this poor year 7 who'd like put herself forward. But I got the highest mark in the entire competition, even though we didn't get through. I like in terms of as an individual debater. Just yeah. So I have done debating, but I thought about doing it at uni. But this St Andrews Debating Society was a little bit, not that I thought it was a little bit intimidating for me, because as opinionated as I am, like posh people who can speak really fast and really well scare me, so I'm like, I don't like it. It makes me feel uncomfortable. So yeah, I have done debating. I did it at school. And I thought I occasionally do it too much on Twitter, and then it's pointless on Twitter because people aren't there to have their minds changed. I sometimes get my mind changed by people, and I'm like, oh, I didn't see it like that. That's a good thing. But other people are just so stuck in their ways that they can't bend to it. You've got to be like a reed. You've got to bend and take things. Don't be a blooming bit of... I know bamboo is fairly springy, but it's more likely to snap. So, yeah. Gotta be like a reed. Because they can bend rather than snap. Ignore me, don't worry. Tom... Oh, wait, no. I'm getting ahead of myself. Lee Wang says, has Merylwen ever learned a moral when becoming the heroine of an adventure in Morrowind? I've not played Morrowind. P.S. Congrats on Merylwen becoming a fully realised avatar, especially with Corazon, haha, insisting on faffing about with his swashbuckling silliness rather than mastering bending. Yeah, just throwing all that magic out the window. Yeah, I was just like, I want Merylwen to really be one with, like, the elements. And when that feat came along, go watch if not right now, but pop on your watch later list, we did a live stream leveling up. And also, I realised that I've been playing D&D wrong this whole entire time. But that's sort of the fun in playing D&D, is that eventually you realise that when you were making your character, you, like, missed the important bit of the player's handbook, and if you didn't catch it at the beginning, you have it stuck in your head that it's a certain way and it's not. So I've got more spells than I need. So anyway, I can have more spells basically, and I didn't realise. Okay, Tom Balls says, I'm sorry, what is this outside you referred to? Well, you see the boxes that we live in right now. There's things on the outer side of the box. Fun fact. Ian Gent says, with Dob's new invisibility powers, where you get him to turn you invisible whilst in bear form or whilst in cat form, and then you can run around and trip everyone up. Loved the leveling up stream. Oh, thank you. Just going straight onto what I was talking about previously. That is an interesting idea. I will not give away anything because I like to surprise people. But that's an idea. It's a fun idea. Kudos Murnau says, thanks to Disney Plus, I've been reliving my childhood by watching Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers. I reckon that you could cosplay as an excellent gadget hack wrench. Oh, my friend Morgan actually cosplayed as her for Halloween. And she looked adorable, so I'm probably not going to attempt it because I would never be as adorable as my friend Morgan doing it. As for my question, what's the most memorable AI in gaming experience and why, as in the way that it works as opposed to a character? Oh, so like how it reacts to you and your play style. Most memorable. Well, that I like it when you like kind of shock people and they're like, huh! And then you immediately like murder them. Like just in any Assassin's Creed where they're like, huh? And then you've just like pulled their legs out from under them and then stabbed them. My favourite, the most memorable AI moment though, was in Spider-Man, and I actually have a recording of this. I'm pretty sure I put it on Twitter at the time. So when you're fighting gangs as Spider-Man, they like shout things at you. And there was this one guy, I'd completely webbed him, and for some reason though, he was still shouting at me, and he was in the middle of, like, he was shouting at me, I'm in an ass-kicking mood. But I punched him in the air, and he was still saying this as I was doing this. I punched him up in the air and then did the swing where you swing into him and you kick him, like kick them away from you. And he landed in the water in the middle of him saying this word, like this line. So I've got a clip of a guy going, I'm in an ass. So that's always fun. I watch that sometimes to cheer myself up. That's good. And yeah, I just like it when AI goes a bit wrong as well, in terms of like, I like, as in the way it works, you say, but I like the way when it doesn't work because it's funny. Moriarty123 says, hi Ellen, thank you for cheering us all up in these difficult times. Thank you very much. Sis Neuro question, does having it mean you can't / choose not to drink alcohol? I've never drunk a lot of alcohol. I can count on one hand the times when I've been like very drunk. I tend to like have 1, 2, 3 drinks max, and 3 drinks is only if I've eaten food. But most of the time I will have like a bunch of soda and limes, and then I'll have 1 drink. I'll treat myself. So I'm someone now who was like, yeah, I'll buy a cocktail because I'm spending like £1 on drinks the whole night, if they're fairly pricing their soda and limes. And yeah, I don't drink because alcohol dehydrates you. So if I do drink a lot on a lot on a night out, then I will drink a lot of water before I go to bed. And you should do that anyway. You should drink when you've been drinking, drink water, because like the hangover and stuff the next day when you have like, when your head is just like, it's because it's dehydrated. A lot of times when you have headaches, it's just because you're dehydrated. So hydrate. That's why I'm drinking the infusion and not tea, because tea also dehydrates you, as does coffee. And so does many sodas. So if you're sitting there going, oh, I'm thirsty, I'm going to have a Coke, even Diet Coke, even Coke Zero, they will dehydrate you. I think because of the caffeine mainly. I have had that caffeine-free diet cola, like Coca-Cola, and it's not great. Okay, Ryan Ho says, do you have hopes of another Merylwen-centric adventure? Or would you rather see some more closure on existing storylines like Egbert's kidneys? Egbert's kidneys, I should say. Say it properly, Ellen. I mean, everyone gets their moment, and Johnny's really good at making sure everyone has like an episode around them at some point. So I'm up for whenever that happens. And we're doing a lot of adventuring at the moment. So maybe another Merylwen will be soon. I really enjoyed the Egbert one though that we did recently, where we go to the tournament, the Paladin tournament thing. It was great. That was a lot of fun. Yeah, it's good. Mr. M. Binder says, sweet, a late evening stream for my birthday. Oh, happy birthday, Mr. M. Binder. I can hardly begin to imagine being in full lockdown quarantine, but your updates have given me a bit of insight. Without getting too much into politics, is there anything you would have changed in handling the crisis if you were in charge? Yes! Oh my goodness, yes! So, like, look at New Zealand. I would have done that. I'm someone who is like, we shouldn't be paranoid about people coming into this country. And like, we should make sure that when people travel to this country, it isn't an absolute nightmare when they get to the airport. However, when there's a pandemic, I think everyone should be tested. It's for their benefit as well. And that's what they did in New Zealand, is that everyone was like, had to quarantine themselves for 14 days. I have friends who did that anyway. I had a friend who was in America. He flew back to Canada and then he quarantined himself for 14 days, and he did that. And like, I know so many people who just did that. And the fact that we didn't say you should do that, and that like people coming home from their holidays in Spain, like, oh, I've just had a nice time in Marbella. Sorry, I'm being very, very rude in doing that accent, but apologies. Or like people coming back from like, yeah, like, I because I had actual like friends of our family who were in Italy, and they came back and they isolated. One of them actually ended up in hospital, but they did isolate. Like they were like, we've been in the area where it's bad. We isolated, and it was a good thing that they isolated because they were both ill. One of them, my godmother, actually ended up in hospital, and thank goodness she didn't have to go into ICU or anything. So yeah, I had a little bit of a scare with that for someone who means a lot to me. And Mr. Embinder in the chat saying, please be as rude as you like, Ellen. Well, it's your question. Okay. There was a certain type of person. There were videos of these people who are like, I'm in Spain. It's the sort of person who goes to Spain and then tries to find an English pub. That's the sort of person. It's the sort of person who lives in Spain as an expat and voted Brexit. And like, people who don't think about it. Anyway, sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, that's... Anyway, yeah, I would have done things differently. Is there anything you think your government has done really well? No, Mr. Embinder. I don't think they have. I think they've done... Today is a perfect example of how badly they have done things. They were going initially for a herd immunity, which is an important thing when it comes to vaccinations. But when it comes to the fact, like, achieving herd immunity with, like, just the disease means that a lot of people will die, which is not great. Anyway, Denmark, where I live, hasn't been hit as hard as the UK from what I gather. My friend Bendix has told me, like, that basically stuff you guys acted a lot sooner, I think, and so I'm quite happy with that. At least I can visit my family, go shopping, go to the beach and the summer house, etc. Yeah, because you did it quickly, you acted fast, and that meant that now you can like get on with things, hopefully. Like, please still be careful, like, follow your government advice. Don't follow my government advice, oh my god. Just follow the NHS advice. I just hope my workplace doesn't keel over, seeing as I just bought my own house. Oh, good luck with that. I know that there will be people who have like taken out, like, got a mortgage, and like suddenly work is difficult. I completely empathise with you for that. Scott Jacobs says, how do you intend to spend your vast wealth from your victory over Luke on Friday? Oh yes, if you missed it, we did a stream on Outside Extra, where basically we compared villagers, and the loser has to pay the winner the value of the villagers, and I had a lot of villagers who were quite pricey, so I won. But yeah, but it's really fun to watch and see the breakdown, even if I have spoiled it a little bit then. In the chat, people are like, oh, political Ellen. Sorry. Oh, John Nigwa says political rant Ellen equals best Ellen. I'd say, yeah. Oh, thank you. And Anti-Bag Shade says, political Ellen is so damn cool, miss the intelligent rants. Thank you very much. I try to still do intelligent rants every now and again, but it's just finding the time. So I'll do it now in the live stream. The only thing with the live stream is I can't edit my thoughts down into something more concise. But hey, okay. Oh wow, we've got to 21:50 right now. That's 9:50. We're gonna go on till about 10:30, if that's all right. But I'll have a look at some things. Oh, Angel Beat asking how I feel about Tuka and Bertie. Good. Start thinking of some questions, popping them in the chat, and I'll read through some more donations. Very, very, very sweet. Let's bring this over. I need to read these now. Hello to everyone in the chat. Matthias Fincham says chicken noodle soup is alphabet soup but in cursive. That's funny. Thoughts? And is cereal a type of soup? No, because you add milk to it. Porridge might be a type of soup because you have porridge oats, but to make porridge it is or maybe it's more of a stew actually. JR says your hair's close to the purple. I dye my hair. Woo! I believe the brand that I use for this is Rebellious, and then it was like one of the purples, vibrant purple or something, I think it was. Kaizura Darklight says virtual huggles for everyone, very sweet. Nick Jeffrey says cooking dinner and watching Ellen, hair looks cool. Thank you very much. Nobody of consequence says good evening from Omaha, Nebraska, USA. Hello. Max Velocity says I've been back to work this week and things are really tough. Your streams are helping me keep sane, so thanks to you, Ellen, and this wonderful community. Thank you very much. Everyone's really, really nice. Kaya Wainwright in the chat, is there a reason why Show of the Weekend isn't being shown on the weekend? Because our work week is Monday to Friday, so we're doing it on our work days. We kind of want to still have a weekend so that we keep sane. And so if that means that we have to do our live stream on a Friday instead, that's sort of like how we have to do it. Because we still have like family around us whose days off are Saturday and Sunday, and we don't want to completely change around our entire calendar. If that's okay. Right. Kaibo2831 says good evening. Hello, good evening, and remain indoors. That was the first thing that I thought of when they were talking about lockdown because of a pandemic, and I was like, it's like the Mitchell and Webb sketch. It's a great sketch. Go look it up. There's a whole series of them. Bubblehead says cough cough Graham. Oh yes, in regards to the middle-aged men who don't seem to be doing very well in their careers, so they shout at people on the internet. Anyway, Jeff Edwards says your hair always looks great, but the colour is spectacular. Nice work. Thank you very much. I'm really pleased with how it came out. John Sansker says, so you're saying Far Cry 5 was your perfect game? I mean, it was good, but the combat in Far Cry could be improved. Roman Pagan says, Adult Swim is amazing with shows that aren't Metalocalypse. Trying to think. I'm not sure what that's referencing, and then someone will explain it to me, and then I'll get it. But yeah, Adult Swim's good. They like, not everything on there is brilliant, but they're very good at picking up like interesting weird shows. Saskar Coyle says, question, 2 years ago you made a video about Valnet Inc. stealing your face for a gatekeeping gaming quiz. Whatever happened with that? I went to my work and was like, I got lawyers involved, so it got taken down. Is the short answer. All of the social stuff was still there, but it links to a blank page, so lol. Also, fun fact, I had a friend of mine being like, oh, my friend's just got a job for this company. Not saying what the company was, but she's going to be making gaming videos on YouTube, and can you talk to her? And I was like, yeah, if she wants to like ask me a couple of questions, like I'll let her know within my capacity as a like non-competing thing. And then it turned out that she'd got a job at Valnet, and I had to be like, I'm really sorry, I can't give you any help. And pasted her a link to the video and like being like I hope that you are a good influence on this company and that you make sure that they don't do this again. Thank you. I'm really sorry, I can't help you help this company. So that was fun. She was very nice about it. I was like, this isn't aimed at you at all. Like, this isn't your fault, but I literally can't give you stuff that you then take to the people who stole my face. Carl Be Back says, hi, I love your hair and how it matches your headphones. Yeah, like these are more like blue, but it like it tones in really nicely, doesn't it? thanks for all the suggestions on places to visit when the outside times return. Could you do a shout out for Tom Titherington, who has been a wonderful DM? Yeah, there's been like a lovely little collection of people in the Oxtra and Oxbox community who have like got together, and Tom Titherington has like been DMing some games for people. Pardon me. It's been DMing some games for people, and it's been really sweet. Cody M says, hi Ellen, first time ever catching a stream, as they are normally at 3 a.m. for me in Australia. That's the other kind of reason why I like shifted it a little bit. Also, I met a lady called Marilyn Bear and immediately thought she was your D&D character. Amazing. Web Giant says, on a happier note, could a new game be created and work by combining the best parts of Assassin's Creed and Kingdoms of Amalur? Yeah, I reckon so. Norson said, it's been nice seeing you, Ellen, but what about from a different angle? Possibly zoomed in? I don't know what you're talking about. Really? I really don't know. Haha. Thank you. Give me an excuse. I spent ages setting that up and not use it. Airman662001 says, thanks for being you. Thank you very much. Looking quickly in the chat. Guacamole. Thoughts from Abstainicus Thought. Try not to use the word thought, please. Just don't use that word. Respect women, please. Anyway, guacamole is good. I like avocado. Nathaniel Shoeshirt, I think I'm saying that correct, asks what's your favourite colour. It is purple. I really like purple. Someone in one of their questions right at the top, I realised, JS Kid, in your thing about like asking about when I cried, I got carried away talking about when I cried. Ruby, yay or nay? I'm wearing a Blake t-shirt right now, so I'd hope that I like it. Otherwise, fake fan. So yeah. There we go. Let's get our other chat back up. There we go. Nerdazoid. Anyone else feel their spelling going since lockdown? Yep. I know it's wrong, but my brain says go with it. Also, my Brian says go with it. Sorry, I ruined your good joke. Also, shout out to the Castle box set. Castle is Castle. Love Castle. When I was at Galaxy's Edge, Nathan Fillion was there. He's in our video because I accidentally filmed him. I didn't mean to, but he's in our video. He's a lovely man. I didn't say hi because I didn't want to bug him while he was at Star Wars Land. But yay. Yeah, I love Castle. It's great. I like that bit of the guitar in the thing. It's like, it sounds like the Bare to the Bone, but it's just like a little bit different, and it's good. It's great. I think that the two of the main characters are just like such fun. Like the two actors have such fun bouncing off each other. It's good. Sephiroth 58 says, do you think NHS will work when HOV is corrupt or HOV? Well, I don't trust this government to look after the NHS. That's my... They haven't for the last 10 years. As someone who's had to rely on it as a person with a chronic illness, with my kidney stones, they don't... It's got worse. Last time I was there, 9 hours in A&E. Never had that before. Anyway. Right, let's go down into this chat. Oh my, this chat's so... People saying, I love Castle. Good. Richard Smith, they hate each other. Really? Do the main characters in Castle hate each other? Also, I love his mum and daughter. They are such good characters. Lil Brazil, hi Ellen, sending lots of love and thanks for all you do to keep us sane. Would you ever do a video on how Lara Croft is basically an assassin? That's been in the works for ages and I've just not got around to fully polishing that off. I've got like a long list, short list type thing that I really need to tighten that up and make it a thing at some point. And then David75, hello again from Vancouver. Hello! Love the hair. What do you think of Mike Shinoda's solo album? Oh, he's got a solo album. Is it a recent one? I'll need to give it a listen because I love his Fort Minor stuff. Are you excited that Linkin Park is working on new music but not trying to replace Chester? I mean, they can't replace Chester. Like, I think it'd be too hard for them. And I think what they're doing is amazing. Linkin Park is amazing. They're my favourite band ever, and they always do something. They're always so like respectful of music in general and their fans, and I could go on for ages about how much I love Linkin Park. Regnad Zoom says, I just want to say I hope your kiddies are doing well. Also, daily reminder, you have value and potential. Thank you. And that's the reminder for everyone watching. You have value and potential. And these are difficult times, and you might not be reaching your full potential right now, but that's fine because you have value. Like, and these are tricky times to be the full person that you can be because you can't do all the things that you want to or need to. So don't be too hard on yourself. Don't have any shows you're watching right now. Said earlier on today, New Girl, really good. It's good, great show. Also, I watched the Tiger King thing because my sister had watched it. She was like, watch it because I want to talk to you about it. And they're just all awful people in my humble opinion. And just like they're the lack of respect they have for not only the animals but for the people that they hire. Anyway, Lord Poos 09, if you were a quest giving NPC, what type of quests would you give and why? Mean ones, because I'm mean. Fetch quests probably, because lol. Go find those things. Bye. Samuel Stensgaard says, hey Ellen, just want to say the fact that you're a woman in the games industry and not afraid to be outspoken is awesome. You're amazing. Thank you very much. That's very kind of you to say. Erin Rose, very close to my name. Hi. Do you think you could beat Commander Shepard in a dance-off? Yes. And thank you for your streams. Thank you very much. Mr. Harry Gray, any tips for getting into the game journalism? Have a little kind of portfolio of things that you have written. Don't just do reviews. It's very easy to find someone who is good at doing reviews, because it's literally just your opinion, and if you can write well, then fine. Like that, you just need to have an opinion and write well. But if you can come to an editor with an interesting and different like angle on something, that's it. It's all about finding a different angle. Same with like anything. Same with YouTube and things like that. If you make a vlog like every other vlog, it's not going to do gangbusters on YouTube. But if you come up with something that's a little bit different, a little bit of an angle, a little bit of like a challenge or something, then you'll do better. Hopefully, not guaranteeing it, but you're more likely to catch someone's eye. Shakar Coyle says, talking about Nathan Fillion, have you ever checked out Firefly? You can't take the sky from me. Yes. I was like, I saw him in Star Wars and I was like, no, I can't. It's Firefly in the Star Wars universe. So yeah, that was me nerding out. Francis Esquado says, I had a Disneyland annual pass in the before time and I spent my birthday having the most chill day reading my Kindle on Main Street and waiting for Rise of the Resistance. Here's something for when the world opens up again. Oh, amazing. So like when you were waiting before you had, was that the time when it was like ticketed and you had to go in like the queue bit in the launch pad area? Bubblehead asks, have you listened to any of Emma Blackery's music? I've been listening to her new EP, My Arms Are Open, and it's amazing. I've not listened to her new stuff yet, but yeah, I have. She's cool. She's very nice. I met her. She's sweet. Lord Puzo9, pretty sure the whole OX team could beat Shepard in a dance off. Definitely. Black Area Gaming asks, what was it like hosting awards for the BAFTAs? It was cool as. I gave out some awards at the Young Game Designers Awards the year before, and then last year I went as a guest because for the past last year and the year before I actually was on a couple of the judging panels, and just like seeing the amazing ideas that these kids came up with, not only was it an honor to be at the BAFTAs, like at the BAFTA home HQ, you know, home base, and be giving like a thing to someone that says BAFTA on it. That's cool. But also, just like giving it to these really talented kids and just being like, man, you're going to have a really cool career and I'm going to be this tiny little part of it, and that feels nice. So that, yeah, that's nice. Firefly, David Hedges says Ellen's brown coat is hanging out behind her. Actually, no, it's a big huge dressing gown that YouTube very kindly sent me, and it is massive on me. You might have seen a video of Jack Black in a YouTube dressing gown. I have the same one, but it says outside extra on it. Thank you very much, YouTube. That's very kind of you. Oh, right, let's have a look for some questions. Renegade Zoom asks, if you had to dye your hair anything but purple, what would it be? Oh, probably like, I used to dye it red. I used to dye it like that kind of like maroon red. And I really liked that colour. Probably like a pink, maybe? Yeah, I don't know. Feranic Igni says, Ellen, do you feel that people were too harsh on Mass Effect Andromeda? I'm playing it now and it's good fun. I think it was a fun, like, I've played a bit of it. I'm not, like, I didn't stick with it. Which I might go back to it. I know Jane finished playing it and she enjoyed it. She was like, yeah, it was fine. I think people were harsh on it because it's Mass Effect and they were excited for another Mass Effect. They didn't think that we were going to get another Mass Effect, and then suddenly another Mass Effect is coming along, and if I say another Mass Effect, that won't, those words would become meaningless to you. But yeah, I think there was some vitriol in there that was a bit of a shame. Like, I think like there was some personal attacks on people, which was not great, to put it lightly. And yeah, and I do think a lot of people came up with like bugs and things, and I know like my example is like I was like really upset with Shadow of the Tomb Raider. The game is actually like fine, like it's fine, but if you're someone who really loves that series, it's just not quite, to the level that you hoped for. And I think it was people who were disappointed, but they shouldn't be like, you can be disappointed but try not to be too entitled about it. And when I say entitled, I mean like having a go personally at the developers, as opposed to like the working conditions at BioWare didn't sound great for Anthem. So like it was probably the same for Andromeda. Anyway, Jan Sternholt said, hey Ellen, thanks for all the streams, both here and on Oxtra. I've been using them to keep track of the days. No worries. Me too. Frodo Baggins, when did you first start getting into the works of the Pog Resistance crew? I got to meet Laura last year at EGX and she was lovely to talk to. Yeah, Laura is lovely to talk to. I basically started watching Jim Sterling when he was on The Escapist. And I followed him off of The Escapist, and kind of stopped watching stuff on The Escapist when stuff was happening at that point in time. There was some stuff happening within the gaming community that was not great. And yeah, I followed him from that. And then started listening to the Pogquisition, and through him I saw like Laura Kate Dell's work and Miracle of Sound. And yeah, they're great. And then they invited me on it once, and it was great. Angel Beat says, any chance of you appearing on Happy Hour Tavern Time sometime? Yeah, I would definitely love to. Love the Eurogamer guys, so definitely love to join them. Lucas Petri, very kindly donates. Thank you very much. It's very sweet of you. Hey, Alan, been contributing to Luke's lovely solo streams, and yes, Luke's been doing his as well. Like, he's moved. I think he still is not. They're not gone forever. His like chill music live streams, but for the moment, he's been streaming ghost stories. They're not going to be directly after this one. He's moved to a Thursday evening. So do go watch those, because he's found some amazing out of copyright Victorians ghost stories, and he's reading them out. And it's just Luke reading you spooky bedtime stories. It's great. Anyway, keep missing yours live. So here's some well-earned back donations for the amazing stream. Oh, that's so sweet. You don't feel like you have to, but thank you very much. Hope you will never stop sharing your passionate beliefs with all of us. Always wonderful to hear your insights. Well, I hope it's wonderful and not a pain in the ass that I sound really like I know what's best. Lord Pooh says mushrooms, yay or nay. In terms of the edible kind, like just normal mushrooms that you put in like food, I've never had any of the other kind of mushrooms. But yeah, normal mushrooms, I will eat them raw. I like just like the closed cup ones. I really like them in stir fries. But we don't really have them in my house because my sister doesn't like them. But when I was at uni, I would constantly cook with mushrooms. Although they apparently have one of the proteins in them that are bad for my kidneys, so I've sort of just been steering clear of them for a little bit. So for me, mushrooms are a treat. So yeah. SR71. I don't know whether I'm supposed to read that differently, sorry. Would you go to RTX Austin if you haven't already? Still crossing fingers the date holds this year, but if not, looking forward to next. I'd love to go to RTX Austin. I've been to RTX London. Bernie very kindly got me in one of the days, and I had a lovely time watching the podcast and meeting some of the guys. It was great. Yeah, like I would love to go to like the RTX though in Austin. I've been to Austin. I've been to the Rooster Teeth studios. They are really cool. Bernie very kindly showed me around, and I was fangirling the entire time on the inside, but trying to remain very like cool, yeah on the outside, but inside I'm like so yeah, because I've been watching them since I was like 14, 15, like probably, yeah, thinking of the timeline, it would be about 15. I was about 15. I started watching that because I'd heard of Red versus Blue, but I didn't really know. I didn't think that I could watch Red versus Blue because I'd not played a Halo game at that point, and I was like, oh, I won't get it because I don't play Halo. Then I started watching it, and I was like, oh, I didn't have to play Halo. I could have got this anyway, but I didn't watch that until after I'd watched The Strangerhood, which still waiting for a new series. When I said that, I found you guys through The Strangerhood, Bernie was like, oh, I'm sorry. I'm like, why are you apologising? I loved it. Don't say that the thing I liked is bad. But anyway, yes, I would love to go to RTX Austin. I would love to. Right. Amelia, sorry. So Star Wars or Star Trek? Oh, it depends what I want, really. Like, do I want a lot of like dialogue and kind of like shaky cam, or do I want pew pew lasers? Well, there's a little bit of pew pew lasers in Star Trek, but do I want the or pew pew? And I can't really do the door noise very well. I think they're great in their own ways. Like, people think, oh, they're the same, but like, that's people who don't really know sci-fi, which is fine. You know, they just haven't been introduced to it. If I want a chill evening, Star Trek, you know, a bit of political discussion. If I want some excitement, well, I still get a bit of excitement in Star Trek, but if I want like big action scenes, then I'll go for Star Wars. Luke Sutton very kindly donates. Thank you very much. It's very generous. I'm in a unique position because I live at a camp in the California High Sierras. I will send pictures of a lake and mountain backdrop if you'd like. That is just to see nature. That would be amazing. Please, if you have a Twitter, do feel free to tweet that at me. Maybe I can like green screen myself. I'm outside. Or I could just put it on my desktop and just stare at it and pretend I'm looking out a window. That's great as well. Thank you. Thank you. You helped me get through a hard time a couple of years ago with your videos, and I'm in a lot better of a place now, so thanks. Oh, that's very kind of you to say. I'm really glad that my videos helped. I'm really, I just try and make fun, silly videos, and I'm really glad on here and with Luke on Outside Extra, and I'm glad that they do something positive as well as just being a bit of a laugh. Okay, Christopher Needham says, what concept from a game do you wish was more common across the industry, like Arkham-style combat, Souls-like combat, and cover-based shooting all did? I want reckoning modes and everything. It's just cool. The thing that has actually, from Kingdoms of Amalur, been taken into other games that I'm really pleased about, and I want them to go into further games, is flexibility with class. And also being able to toggle whether your hood or helmet is showing or not. So that is the greatest. I need to take a sip. Let's have a look through the main chat. This is not updating. There we go. David Hedges says Star Trek or Star Wars. I agree. The correct answer is yes. Scott Gooch says Farscape. Yes. Oh my gosh. I loved Star Trek. There, Farscape. It's because it was after The Simpsons, and that's when my sister would leave the room, and I would be like, TV's all mine. So it was great. It'd be Neighbours, then Simpsons, then Farscape. I'm pretty sure that was a good evening. Matt Day says biscuits fave. Hobnobs, chocolate covered hobnobs are the best, definitely. So are a particular biscuit which is like a cross between a digestive, or it's like a cross between a shortbread and a rich tea biscuit, and it's called an Abernethy biscuit. It's a Scottish one, and it's great. It's great. I can only find them in the UK in Waitrose. They're a brand. It's Abernethy. They're just so good. And they're really good as biscuits for cheese as well as dunking them in your tea. They're very versatile, like digestives are. Red Shadow says, any chance you'll start streaming Animal Crossing now that Luke's back on Breath of the Wild and we've officially established your island is better? Well, I do actually have a Lily of the Valley growing there, so I definitely have a 5-star island as well. So, I think we're sticking with Luke streaming, but I'm happy to step in whenever he needs to take some time off or anything. I enjoy Luke's Animal Crossing streams so much because his reactions are just great. He's just got such an expressive face. It's great. Thank you to Amadeus121. Norcent says, what's a game that you really enjoy from a genre that you're not a fan of? Mario Rabbids Kingdom Battle. Not really a fan of turn-based combat. That game, bloomin' love it. The art style, the music, hello Grant Kirkhope, legend. It's just great. And Rabid Peach is the greatest character of all time. Matthew Dole says, hi from Ohio. Sorry. say that correctly. Thanks for helping me keep me sane with these streams. Thank you. Blood is bad. It's bad if it's on the outside. Says that second part is me adding. Do you have any favourite comedians? Eddie Izzard, Tina Fey, Billy Connolly, Victoria Wood. Gutted that she's gone. Dylan Moran's very funny. Bill Bailey. Lee Evans. Who's it? John Mulaney I've been watching a lot of recently. Watch John Mulaney. John Mulaney in the Sack Lunch Club is so good. Like, oh my goodness, it's on Netflix. It's very good. My friend has recommended me Middle Ditch and Swatch. Can't say it still. And those two are very funny doing improv. It's great. Geordie Van Hartog. I fell in love Farscape. Good. Magpie Singular says, what video game character do you most relate to? Most relate to? Well, I like the nerdiness of Peter Parker in Spider-Man, obviously, even though he's technically a comic first. Who do I relate to most? I think, like, the people who plug in the animus. Like, the people who are like, okay, time to be someone cooler for a bit, because that's basically what I'm doing as a video game player. Lorpus09, out of everyone from OX and Dicebreaker, who is the most sweary off camera? Just curious. We are all pretty sweary, to be honest, but we keep it clean for the streams and for videos and such. Yeah, I tend to try and I use swears a lot, like, around friends, but then I also like the power of a swear word. So there's sometimes that I like to hold back swear words until I really mean it, like, to show the passion. So yeah. David Hedges, Black Books with Bill Bailey and Dylan Moran. Yeah, I loved that series so much. Sadly, one of the writers is not very nice. Unimaginative username says, have you watched / played Kimmy Schmidt versus the Reverend yet? No, I have not. I have yet to play it. I need to sit with my sister and we'll watch play it. But yeah, I've seen them both live. Going back to Bill Bailey and Dylan Moran, I've seen them both live do their stand-up, and they are amazing. Daniel Glynn, a perfectly timed swear can really enhance a message. It can. Exactly. Yeah, Deathwatch 27 sucks about Linehan, and Max Velocity Black Books was brilliant. It's such a shame. Like, there's a lot of things that I really, really liked that he's created, and I just can't enjoy them anymore. There are some things that I can be like, I can separate the art from the artist and just try not to think about them too much, because the message in the work is different. It seems different to what the person actually is like. Or at least that person has changed over time. I don't know, like sometimes I can separate it, and then sometimes I'm like, when I watch this, all I can think about is this person doing this thing, and it's ruined it for me, and that I can't separate it. And sadly, Graham Linehan's work is that. But oh well. Chip, just be nice to trans people. Just be nice. Richard Leonard puts Spaced. Oh my goodness, I love Spaced. So good. That's like Edgar Wright stuff, early days. Simon Pegg and Nick Frost being hilarious. The whole cast is brilliant. I love it. I love it so much. And Bill Bailey's in that one as well. Yeah, he is. It's so good, so good. That was one of the shows that my mum would let me stay up to watch when I was a kid. So I watched that when it first came out on Channel 4. So, you know, just being a bit of a hipster. Like, also, I liked Big Train, which is what Simon Pegg was in before Spaced. So it's amazing. I'm one of those insufferable people. Like, I'm doing it slightly ironically, but I am still being insufferable while I do it. Wherein there people are like, oh, like when the Mighty Boosh was a big thing, I was like going around going, yeah, well, I really loved that radio show, don't I? Yeah, because I liked it before it was on telly. Geordie Den Hartog says, Red Dwarf? Yes, it's cold outside. There's no kind of atmosphere. I'm all alone, more or less. Let me fly far away from here. Fun, fun, fun. In the sun, sun, sun. Such a good show. Oh my goodness. I want to lie. Shipwrecked and comatose, drinking fresh mango juice. Goldfish shoals, nibbling at my toes. Fun, fun, fun. In the sun, sun, sun. So good. Michael Lammers says, how relieved are you that tarantula season is over in New Horizons? Oh, so happy that it's now scorpions instead. Jeez. I caught a scorpion, nearly ran into it, and it was like, oh, the scorpions are here. Great. Magpie Singular says, are you a fan of Garth Marenghi's Dark Place? Yes. So good. I love stuff like that. I love that slightly awkward British comedy, like where it's on purpose awkward British comedy. It's so good. Paul Harry says, it's cold outside. How do you know this? It's the song from Red Dwarf, and it's, I know they're making a joke, but I'm being silly. Kobe Morris says, have you watched The Promised Land yet? No, I have not. Diamond Trilogy YOLO puts in all caps, Little Britain. Yes, I love Little Britain. There are some things in it that I find a bit questionable now, like dressing up as different races. Maybe you should not do that anymore. But at its heart, there is some very funny stuff in there, and I think that since it's been made, we've all become a little bit more woke, as you would say, some might say, and that I think they probably wouldn't do the same things again. And yeah, I think at its heart there was some really funny stuff. Like the best stuff was the radio show as well. They did a really good radio special last year called Little Brexit on Radio 4 in the UK. Very good. It was very funny. Yan1989 asks, Stereo Girls? I have still not watched that yet. I'm really sorry, but I know that I will really love it because I've seen clips and it's hilarious. Martin Peters, how about British Empire? I love the British Empire. I've not watched it in years, so probably if I watched it now, I'm not sure. But I've just got such fond memories of it. Olitioni, if I'm saying that correctly, I'm really sorry, I'm trying to work out what the accent on the O there is. Have you watched Disenchantment? Yes, I've watched all that's available on Netflix right now, and it is really good. I really like it. It's got that kind of like Futurama vibe to it, but in ye olde times, and it's good. It's nice to watch and be like, oh yeah, Matt Groening's still funny. That's good. Because I don't think The Simpsons is as good as it used to be. Anyway, the infamous J-Rad says, what are some great manga you've read recently? I don't really read manga. I am a basic person who only watches anime. I'm really sorry. But I would like to. Yeah. KG Gnuffree says, is it racist to put on elvish ears? No, because they're not a real thing. They're a made up thing. It's racist to assume that elves can only be white. That's what I would say. I want to see some different elves. The voice of Todd says, okay, if we're playing Test Ellen, Dollhouse, not seen that, but apparently it gets better after the first season. I've heard, I don't know, or it gets worse after the first season. I don't know. All I know is there's something about the first season. Maddie Lyle asks, what anime do you watch? All sorts. In terms of like kind of Western made stuff, I watch Castlevania on Netflix. I have heard, I think I was having a quick skim through the questions that people sent in, and someone asked me about what I thought of there's being a Tokyo Mew reboot, which I am hella excited for because I love that. I've got actually a costume for Tokyo Mew, like Mew Mew Ichigo, with the pink wig and boots and everything. So, and the tail, yeah. They were like these girls who, it was basically like Sailor Moon, but instead of merging with like the power of the planets, they would merge with the power of endangered animals. And she merged with the power of like this wild cat, but it was like meow, and it was adorable and ridiculous, and they were really sweet. Also, I love card captors. I've got like a cabinet of like figurines and stuff over there, a glass cabinet, so I don't have to dust it every single day. And yeah, I loved card captors so much. I think it's so sweet. Sailor Moon, like those are like kind of like the basic things, but then I've like dabbled in lots of other. I will just like, I won't remember half of the names of them, but I'll be like, that was good, I really enjoyed that. Oh, actually, like, I'm not a huge fan of like the harem, like the one guy being like fought over by 6 women, but I enjoyed Rosario Vampire, as ridiculous as that show is. Elfen Lied, it's good. Visible Wizard asks, is that similar to Elfen Lied cosplay? Yeah, like the wig first came because of the Tokyo Mew Mew costume, and then I adapted it to use, well, I didn't adapt it, but I like wore it with different things for my Elfen Lied costume. I watched, was it called School Days? I watched a thing where it was like a girl liked a guy, but he liked her best friend, and instead of being like, oh no, I don't want to, instead of being like, oh, I'm gonna stay away from this, she was like, I'll help you like her, like I'll help you go out with her, and then it's all really confusing, and then it's like everything breaks at the end. Was it called School Days? I'm not sure. It was something. Soliloquiosity. There we go. 3 times. Oh god, that was a trip of an anime. Yeah, I think. Or are you talking about Rosario Vampire? Because that also was a trip of an anime. It was a guy, he was a normal human, really boring, but then he went to a monster school, and like one of them's a vampire, one of them's like an animal thing, one of them's a witch, and it's ridiculous, and they all have like it's written by a bunch of thirsty men, but it was fun. School Days. Yeah, so look, yeah, someone's saying about School Days. You've seen that one as well. It was like the 2 girls like that one guy, but he likes the one girl, and the friend is like, yeah, I'll help make this happen, and it gets just really sad about it, and then Blank. Isn't it a very grim series? Yeah, don't watch it if you don't want to be like sad and freaked out at the end. Pregu says, I've thought this for a while, but you remind me a bit of Catherine Tate. Thank you. That's actually a big compliment. I quite like her show. I think she was, I say it quite like, I love the Catherine Tate show. It's very good. And I think she was brilliant as Donna in Doctor Who. I think she's one of my favourite, not assistants, what's the word? But favourite people who've travelled with the Doctor. She was great. Shane Brimson asks, we're getting close to, we've gone over 90 minutes, but we'll finish up soon. But Shane Brimson asks, can we get a mini rant about how good Buffy is and why everyone should watch it? It's just so good. There's so much like female empowerment in there. And I mean, it is very much of its time, but it still does a pretty decent job of it. Joss Whedon's heart was in the right place when he was writing it. The characters in it are just all so well-rounded and so well-written. Oh, my mate One Shot is in the chat saying, want me to recommend some good Yuri anime manga? Because I will. Companion. People are saying companion. Doctor Who companion. Thank you. Oh, AK318 says, have you seen the new She-Ra? Yes, I am. I'm not quite on the last season yet. Because I'm so used to things like seasons being like once a year or whatever, but they like kind of drips and drabs, and yeah. Buffy or Angel, asks the voice of Todd. Buffy, I've not watched much Angel. I watched a little bit when it was out, but I need to get like the box set or watch it somewhere, because I've not watched it all the way through, whereas Buffy I have. Deathwatch 27, Spike, Angel or Xander? Spike. When he was not being an ass. Harry Arden, I see a few people saying, have you seen Ruby? It's just, I don't know, it's kind of okay. Just, yeah, it's fine. I just like it enough to have bought t-shirts to wear it. Rymendel says, talk to us forever, Ellen. I'd love to, but I do need to eventually go to sleep. Fortunately, tomorrow in the UK is a bank holiday. So, yeah, it's good. Right, let's go through some of the donations before I go. Red Giant says, Bangle or Spuffy? I like that. Right, Kieran Marshall said, you singing Red Dwarf theme gives me strength. Oh, thank you. I love that show so much, so really glad that helped. Dave Lave says, have had a chance to meet you at the AC Symphony, and you're an absolutely lovely person. Oh, thank you very much. It's very nice of you to say. Really enjoy all the stuff you do. Keep up the good work. Thank you. Black Area Gaming says, what do you think it will take for the games industry to be accepted by mainstream media? It seems that whenever we get close to AAA publishers screw it up. I think they can sometimes mess it up, and then like most of the time that the games industry is being reported on, it's like for a bad thing. I think that's for a lot of things, really, like because the news is reporting on, oh, this weird thing that shouldn't have happened. I think television in general just doesn't get video games. I think video games will always be like a big internet thing. It'll all be streaming and stuff, because my friend Steve, who I met through some War Child gaming stuff, he used to have a show called Go 8-Bit with Darrow O'Brien, and like it was a great show, really funny. It was a really good concept, but TV just didn't really fully get it. I don't think TV doesn't really know how to push video game stuff. And I don't think a wider audience really understands it still yet. And I'm hoping that changes soon, because that was a good show. Get that stuff back on there. Like, yeah, it seems you don't know about video games unless you're on the internet, which is a shame. John Sansker says, one channel here used to run The Young Ones, was awesome. I love The Young Ones. The Young Ones. Very funny. Rick Mail, one of my favourite comedy people of all time. I was very sad when he passed away. There's a lovely bench at Hammersmith Broadway in West London that people will leave flowers. It was like he punched his friend here, like, because they filmed some stuff for Bottom, which was another show that he and Aidenson did. Yeah, and my granddad used to like love that show. He was like my granddad or my grandpa on my mum's side. He was very like chill but very funny, and he had a good sense of humour. And so like he just really liked this weirdly violent show. Mattress 757, have you seen Barry with Bill Hader? It's quality. I will have a look. I've not seen that. Hayden M says, have you watched Tiger King yet? Yes. I accidentally quoted the "guess what, mother" in front of my nephew, and it's his new catchphrase. My sister is pissed at me. The rest of my family found it hilarious. Yeah, that show is ridiculous. I would recommend it. Warning, all the people in it are terrible and don't care about the people that work for them. Anyway, Andrea Martinez, hello. I love the weird connect that I saw loads of those UK series as a teenager, Red Dwarf, Little Britain, Misfits, Skins, because for some reason they dubbed them into Catalan. Oh, cool. Also, lots of anime. Oh, that's great. I love, the experience of watching something dubbed must be so strange. But you guys are just used to it. It's ridiculous. And there are some people in English-speaking countries that are like subtitles, and I'm like, for goodness sakes. Anyway, Jonathan Cooper, you should watch House. It scared me as a kid, but now it's just laughable. You mean the one with the doctor one, where everyone has lupus, right? Anyway, Bubblehead says The Office. Love the UK Office. First season of American Office is bad because it's just trying to do the UK Office, but not as well. And then they wrote their own stuff and it's good. Donis says, have you seen Steven Universe Future or She-Ra, which is your fave? I've not seen Steven Universe Future. I've seen a lot of Steven Universe and I love She-Ra. They're both good. I can't put them against each other because I think everyone should watch both. Joel Smith, is that the same stuffed hippogriff? And is your dad going to stream with you anytime soon? That is a different one. That's one that someone very kindly, who was dressed as the Keanu Reeves character from Cyberpunk, gave to me at PAX West last year. They very kindly made that, and that's my second knitted hippogriff because another lovely fan from Ireland, very funny man, very kindly gave me another stuffed. I've got one over there on that side of my room, and then I've got the one from the studio is up on a shelf in the corner, so I'm surrounded by buckbeaks. And is your dad going to stream with you anytime soon? If we can make it work, but I don't live with my dad because my parents are divorced. So yay! But love them both dearly. We're all good. So maybe if we can do a Skype thing or something. But I don't know whether my computer can handle that, because when we do all of our multiple screen things for Oxtra, it's Luke streaming because he's got the good PC at the moment. Mr. M. Bider says, thank you for doing these streams. We're here for you like you're here for us. Stay safe. Thank you very much. You look after yourself as well. Christian Baker says, Dennis says, just being yourself and that person is wonderful. Oh, thank you so much. That's very, very sweet. Right. Ryan Mental says, watch Upload. Ellen, it's great. Okay. I will have a look. Andrew Walker, have you seen Life on Mars? Yes, I have. It's very good. Chris Holland says, have you seen Look Around You? Look Around You. Yes, I have. It is brilliant. It is the thing that I introduce to people to be like, this is my sense of humour, okay? Just so you know. But I don't like people. I want to sit with the person while they watch it because I want to see them react. That's the one where I'm like, I want to see their reaction. So I have someone on that list that I will need to sit with and make them watch it. And it's great because they're all quite short episodes because they're like, Look Around You, if you've not seen it, it's like a parody of 70s educational films for schools about science and such, and it's very funny. It's by Peter Serafinowicz and Robert Popper. Robert Popper is the writer of Friday Night Dinner. Peter Serafinowicz is in lots of I think he's in like a lot of Simon Pegg stuff. He's in Shaun of the Dead, I believe. He is in he's in Guardians of the Galaxy. He's the kind of guard. Fun story. I tweeted out about how everyone's excited about the new Marvel film. I'm just excited that Peter Serafinowicz is in it. For that, he followed me and sent me a DM going, thanks. And I was like, oh my god. I was like, no, I'm so excited for you. And he was really nice. So yeah, and he's also a very funny person anyway. Max Velocity, okay, Ellen has seen Look Around You and I didn't think she could get any cooler. Like, man, as soon as that thing was on telly, I was a fan of it. I'm pretty sure I watched it when it first came out, and stayed up because they put it on like a weird time. Because back in the day when there were educational programs on TV, they used to show them like school programs like in the middle of the night. This is like back in like the 90s, and like back there they used to show them in the middle of the night so that people would just record them off the telly and then they'd be able to use them for schools and such. Because you'd still like have them during the day. So during the day, the BBC especially would be a weird mix of home improvement shows and kids learning to read shows, basically, words and pictures. And yeah, so they like put it on at like a weird time, so you think that, is it real? Just like very late, like kind of past 11, not ridiculously late, but late enough that you'd be like, is this what? And it was a really funny show. John Peace, when Ellen was young in 1973. I've seen some things, guys. And then one more donation. Thank you very much from the Platypus 10. The Platypus, Ellen. 10. How would you improve the Assassin's Creed series if you could? I think they focus on the world over character too much and been too far away from the Creed stuff. Yeah, I'd like to see some more of like the Creed, the Brotherhood, and about it being part of a bigger thing. I think in the last 2 games, it's been before that stuff all really came about. But I think in Valhalla, there's a real chance to be like, hey, we're all part of a brotherhood here. Let's make this work. Because all of that cool Creed and Brotherhood stuff really came along later in Origins, like especially in the DLC. If you didn't get to the DLC, you didn't see that stuff. And it's fair enough if you didn't get around to playing the DLC, because it's a big game. So yeah. Andy L in the chat. Thanks, Ants. Thanks. And every single time when I'm at work, thanks, Andy. Thandy. That's where I've got it from. And Luke and I both do it because both fans of it. And Andy's like, every time. And it's great. But yeah, Nerdazoid, Discovery Tour. Yes, more Discovery Tour in every game of Assassin's Creed ever, please. It's amazing. Anyway, right. Thank you so much. I think we'll wrap it up there. Nonsen, it's just Louise says to Nonsen, her mug's on the mug. Yes, this is a Bendix creation, a friend of Outside Xbox and Outside Extra, and me, just in general, friends of all of us just in general. She did a charity sale of some mugs of a bit of fan art that she drew of us, and so that's me and my friends on a mug, which is pretty damn cool. So yeah, and it's also a nice big mug as well. Anyway, thank you so much. Timothy dying room tour. No, because today I dyed my hair, and that meant like all my hair crap is out right now, like a hair dryer, hair styler. I did a whole load of stuff to try and make my hair look not like a frizzy mess once I dyed it, because it was a good conditioning thing of it, but also I had to get it dry in time for the stream. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Another quick question. What bands are you listening to recently? Just anything on Spotify. I listened to the Birds of Prey soundtrack back in January and have been just going by what is recommended. Also, I've gotten into Pup, which is one of Luke's favourite bands. I basically have just been listening to the best of Pup. Kind of this is Pup playlist is a good one. Panic at the Disco, just lots of stuff. Anyway, right, I'm gonna go. Thank you very much to everyone. Oh, Andrew Walker says, thanks, Ellen. Like spike required. Yes, everyone. Also, before we do that, I have a name for you all. You're my buds. You're all my buds. Because you're my rose buds. Ickle Nelly rose buds. Get it? Because someone very kindly, when we were all chatting about that, and people were coming up with different names, my friend was modding for me, and he spotted that someone had said something, and so that person, thank you to that person who suggested that, and no one really acknowledged it. No one really spotted it. So thank you to that person, and I will try and find their name in that stream because I saw it. But yeah, it's cute. And then you're all buds with each other. So, hey, buds. Hey, buds. And it's also nice because it's like a nice gender neutral one so that everyone feels welcome. And yeah. Oh, it's Sorry says, okay, need it on a shirt. Let's be buds. Rosebuds. And yeah, it's great. Samuel Santos says it was Rhymental, I believe. Yes, and there was another name that I saw someone wrote it that I think I would probably recommend. I would probably recognize if I saw the name. But yeah, Presmake Jaw says butts. No, buds. BUDS. Like a rosebud. But anyway, buds. Hashtag buds. Thank you so much for watching. We've gone way over time. Oh my goodness, we've gone way over time. I was like, oh, past, I'm going to finish. And then we've been on for another 20 minutes. Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for joining as I just sit and chat about nothing in particular. I hope you all have a lovely rest of your evening or morning, depending on where you are. And I shall see you, if not next week, then the week after. I kind of just had to take a break because I was getting a little bit exhausted by lots of work. So I will see how I feel. But let me, keep an eye on the community tab on this page or on Twitter. I will let you know. Thank you for joining. Have a lovely evening. Good night.